Nagpe-play na po ba?
No, it's not.
Ay, ba't sa akin nagpe-play? Sige po, sir, mamaya ako na lang po i-present.
No, it's okay. You could carry on. Baka ano lang. Do you have actually a link? Can you send it to me and I can play it on?
Ay, wait lang. Sir, nasend ko na po sa G.
All right. Okay. Okay. Am I sharing it?
Yes po.
All right.
Sir, wala pong sound.
Wala. Hold on. Bakit kaya? Um, how about that?
Okay na po. Yes, meron na po.
Oh no! Oh no! I'm lost! Where's the line? It just went away. What do I do? Help! I'll be stuck here forever.
Do not panic! Do not panic! We are trained professionals! Now stay calm. We are going around the leaf.
Around the leaf? I don't think we can do that.
Oh, nonsense. This is nothing compared to the twig of 93. That's it. That's it. Good. You're doing great. There you go. There you go. Watch my eyes. Don't look away. And here's the line again.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Soil.
Good job, everybody.
Oh my, there's quite a gap, Mr. Soil. Shouldn't we tell the Queen?
I don't think we need to involve the Queen in this. She's got enough on her plate already. Training her daughter.
Oh yes, Princess Ada, the poor dear.
Mm-hmm.
So, based on the video we've watched, nakita po natin how important it is to have a leader. Kasi when in times na may conflict sa isang event or scene, there's someone na magtuturo po sa atin or maglilid to continue. So now we're going to, I guess we're all ready to start getting the knowledge about all the concepts involved in leadership. So, nag-share na po ba ng screen?
Yes. Yes, you are.
Okay po. Nakikita na po yung
Yes.
first slide. Okay po. So now, my group mate will discuss about the definition and importance of leadership. Miss Emanel.
So, good morning, everyone. First, let us know what is leadership. Leadership defines as the ability to influence a group toward the achievement of a vision or set of goals. Leadership, from the root word itself, lead. Leader is the one who will lead a group or organization. Leadership is necessary in any aspects of group. For example, in family, we have our parents to lead us what we need to do on how to achieve our goals in life. They also guide us to attain better life than they gave us that they believe in. So next, let us proceed to the importance of leadership. Next slide, please. Next slide po. Ay, yun. Thank you. Okay. Importance of leadership. Leadership is an important function of management which help to maximize efficiency and to achieve organizational goals. The following points justify the importance of leadership in a concern. So number one, initiates action. Leader is a person who starts the work by communicating the policies and plans to the subordinates from where the work actually works. As I was saying, leader is the one who will lead us. They are the one who will do the first move for their members to follow it. So, kaya po tayo may leaders kasi katulad po sa napanood natin, pag walang leader, hindi alam nung members kung ano yung specific niyang gagawin. Wala siyang, parang hindi siya magkakaroon ng idea na ano yung susunod niyang move na gagawin. So number two, motivation. A leader proves to be playing an incentive role in the concern's working. He motivates the employees with economic and non-economic rewards and thereby gets the work from the subordinates. Leadership is important because leaders can give motivation to the members to do better and excellent job to attain their goal. So, share ko lang po, naalala ko nung high school ako, kasi lagi din ako nagiging leader. Meron ako nagiging mga members na talagang kahit kahit nga may leader, hindi pa rin nila kayang magsalita sa harap, hindi nila kayang i-present yung sasabihin nila, which is kailangan talaga nila ng motivation at magpupush sa kanila kung ano yung dapat nilang gawin, paano yung dapat nang gawin, na kahit in a simple way lang. So number three, providing guidance. A leader has to not only supervise but also play a guiding role for the subordinates. Guidance here means instructing the subordinates the way they have to perform their work effectively and efficiently. We need leadership because sometimes in a group we may have the type of a member that will surely needs a guidance on what will do for him or her to not left him out and he could keep up with the group. So number four, creating confidence. Confidence is an important factor which can be achieved through expressing the work efforts to the subordinates, explaining them clearly their role, and giving them guidelines to achieve the goals effectively. It is also important to hear the employees with regards to their complaints and problems. Number four, creating confidence is one important for the leader to do. A leader should help his or her members boost out their confidence to do their job. Members should be confident and need to believe in themselves on what they can do because it will help the leader a lot too. And number five, building morale. Morale denotes willing cooperation of the employees towards their work and getting them into confidence and winning their trust. A leader can be a morale booster by achieving full cooperation so that they perform with best of their abilities as they work to achieve goals. Leaders can influence the members by building morale for each camaraderie to work better, especially when they gonna work for a long period of time. Building a morale can help the member to work happy and freely. Number six, builds work environment. Management is getting things done from people. An efficient work environment helps in sound and stable growth. Therefore, human relations should be kept into mind by a leader. He should have a personal contacts with employees and should listen to their problems, solve them. He should treat employees on humanitarian terms. Leaders can control his or her members, but that doesn't give him or her rights to insult or take advantage of it. Leaders should create the best environment for his or her members so that they can work hand in hand and not attacking each and every one. And lastly, seven, coordination. Coordination can be achieved through reconciling personal interests with organizational goals. This synchronization can be achieved through proper and effective coordination, which should be primary motive of a leader. All of the above can be the summary for coordination. All of the above are the importance of leadership so that we can attain the coordination we need to work and achieve the goal. That is why leadership is important for us to have the coordination and everyone can cooperate with no hesitations, heavy heart, or can work freely and focus. That's all. Thank you. Next presenter po.
So now, so now I'm going to discuss about the difference of a leader and a manager. So people often mistaken leadership and management, or what's the difference between a leader and a manager? They are maybe the same in terms of their works which involve people, but the main difference of the two is that leaders have people to follow them while managers have people who simply work for them. So now, in order for us to understand the distinctions between managing and leading people, here are the 9 of the most important differences that set leaders apart. So number one, leaders create a vision, managers create goals. Sabi dito, leaders paint a picture of what they see as possible and inspire and engage their people in turning that vision into reality. So sinasabi sa article na ang mga leader daw ay nagkikreate ng vision, which is, as we know, vision is a clear image of how you see the future. And meanwhile, the goals is just an action on how you will achieve your vision. So nagkakaiba sila sa part na ang leaders they tend to see the event or the happenings for the future, while the managers only focus on the present. So number 2, leaders are change agents, managers maintain the status quo. So sabi dito, innovation is their mantra. Yung leaders daw, ang kanilang mantra is innovation. They embrace change and know that even if things are working, there could be a better way forward. And they understand and accept the fact that changes to the system often creates waves. Meanwhile, on managers, stick with what works, refining systems, structures, and processes to make them better. So, yung leaders open sila for improvement, meanwhile, managers, maintain lang nila yung present process para, or I mean, managers maintain what they already have. And number 3, leaders are unique, managers copy. So leaders are willing to be themselves. They are self-aware and work actively to build their unique and differentiated personal brand. They are comfortable in their own shoes and willing to stand out. They are authentic and transparent. Meanwhile, managers mimic the competencies and behaviors they learn from others and adopt their leadership style rather than defining it. So sabi dito, yung mga leaders daw may qualities sila as unique. Dahil syempre to be a leader you need to at least stand out sa ibang position, or rather than hindi naman sa stand out in a mean that makaka-harm ka sa iba, but sabi dito yung mga managers daw ay kung ano lang yung nakikita nilang effective sa isang organization at saka ginagaya lang nila ganun. So yung leader parang nag-iisip sila ng mas better doon sa kung ano yung effective sa organization. The number 3, leaders take risk, managers control risk. Leaders are willing to try new things even if they may fail miserably. They know that failure is often a step on the path to success. Managers work to minimize risk. They seek to avoid or control problems rather than embracing them. So sabi dito, leaders are willing to try new things. Meanwhile, managers control risk. So for example, sa fast food, ganyan. Merong isang customer na nagrereklamo tapos ang unang hinahanap is manager. Kasi ang role ng manager is to minimize the conflict within the organization. Meanwhile, leaders are willing to try new things in order to improve what they have. The number 5, leaders are in it for the long haul, managers think for short term. So it is related sa number 1 kasi when we say long haul, it is a parang vision siya na hindi lang siya pang ngayong present time but rather in the future. So leaders have intentionality. They do what they say they are going to do and stay motivated toward a big, often very distant goal. They remain motivated without receiving regular rewards. Meanwhile, managers work on shorter-term goals, seeking more regular acknowledgement or accolades. So, na-explain naman na about the difference between short-term and long-term. So, pag leaders, for long-term sila and managers only think for short-term. The number 6, leaders grow personally, managers rely on existing proven skills. Leaders know if they aren't learning something new every day. They aren't standing still, they're falling behind. They remain curious and seek to remain relevant in an ever-changing world of work. They seek out people and information that will expand their thinking.
Meanwhile, managers often double down on what made them successful, perfecting existing skills and adopting proven behaviors. So sabi dito, leaders grow personally. Hindi lang sila nag-i-stay sa isang idea na ibig sabihin nag-work, magfo-focus na sila sa ganong idea. But rather than they seek out people and information that will expand their thinking. On the other hand, managers rely on existing proven skills. Yung mga managers daw, they often double down on what made them successful. For example, may isang bagay na or process silang ginawa na yun ang or naging matagumpay yun. Magfo-focus lang sila doon and perfecting existing skills. Yung skills nila paulit-ulit na parang pina-perfect nila ganon. And ina-adapt lang nila yung mga proven behaviors. They are not often open for improvement. Kasi mga managers parang kung ano lang yung problem na nag-occur during that time, yun lang yung iniisipan nila ng solusyon. Then number 7, leaders build relationships, managers build systems and processes. So sabi dito, leaders focus on people, all the stakeholders they need to influence in order to realize their vision. Meanwhile, managers focus on the structures necessary to set and achieve goals. They focus on the analytical and ensure systems are in place to attain desired outcomes. They work with individuals and their goals and objectives. Sabi dito, leadership build relationships. They know or they build loyalty and trust by consistently delivering on their promise. Sabi dito, parang malaki ang impact mo when it comes to people when you're a leader. So, dapat lang na dapat open ka rin for improvement if something na may nangyayari sa isang organization dahil hindi naman porket leader ka dapat alam mo lahat or you're not going to open yourself para sa improvement. Then sabi dito, managers build systems and processes. Sabi dito, nakafocus lang daw ang managers sa kanilang goals and objectives. But parang sabi nga, laging nagfo-fall sa main difference between leaders and managers na ang leaders ay leaders have people to follow them while managers have people simply working for them. So number 8, leaders coach, managers direct. Leaders know that people who work for them have the answers or are able to find them. They see their people as competent and are optimistic about their potential. They resist the temptation to tell their people what to do and how to do it. On the other hand, managers assign tasks and provide guidance on how to accomplish them. Sabi dito, leaders are coach. Hinahayaan ng isang leader na mag-suggest or gumawa ang isang member kung ano ang sa tingin niya ay nararapat para sa isang task. Kasi naniniwala ang leader na ang kanyang mga people ay competent and naniniwala siya sa potential ng kanyang mga kasama. Meanwhile, managers direct. Sabi dito, managers assign tasks and provide guidance on how to accomplish them. Parang yung managers nagbibigay lang ng direction and procedure na kailangang i-follow ng mga employee. So, yun yung pagkakaiba nila. Leaders coach, managers direct. So, last but not the least, leaders create fans, managers have employees. Leaders have people who go beyond following them. Their followers become their fans and promoters, helping them build their brand and achieve their goals. Their fans help them increase their visibility and credibility. On the other hand, managers have staff who follow directions and seek to please the boss. Sabi dito, leaders create fans. When you're a good leader, talagang nakaka-influence ka ng mga employee mo. Parang hindi lang work-related relationship ang nabibuild, but also outside the organization. Kasi iba yung impact or influence mo sa kanila. Meanwhile, managers have employees. Ang ibig sabihin lang dito, managers parang, pag sinabing managers, sa workplace lang. Parang yung hindi lahat ng employee under the management or the manager ay nagkakaroon sila ng strong bond dahil ang managers ay nagbibigay lang ng directions and ginagawa ang trabaho nila to seek or to please the boss. Yan lang po. Thank you.
Hold on. Okay, thank you. Before we move on, this is just my question. Can someone assume leadership? Anyone from the group? Can someone assume leadership? Let's say, for an instance, in a specific workplace, no, the manager is on leave. Okay, one thing for sure, there is a person who is going to be assigned to lead the group. So that is my question. Can someone assume leadership? Regardless, kahit hindi sa workplace. Yung sabi kanina ni MNL, no, she is the leader. No? She experienced to be a leader. No? There are times no na nakikita niya na kasi nga 'di ba it is necessary that you have a vision and then at the same time you should have the influence and motivational skills no for you to uplift the moral or boosting the moral of the members no of your team na who is currently weak. Can someone assume leadership role? Give me an example. Yep, who's that?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Proceed.
Kasi po, yun nga po yung nakwento ko nung high school ako. Kahit hindi ako yung mag-i-insist na ako na lang yung leader, ganyan. Sila po yung nag-aano na, ay, ito na lang leader natin, ganito, ganyan. May mga ganun po sila. Lalo na pag nakikita po nila na magaling ka sa klase or nagpa-participate ka, tapos talagang focus ka sa pag-aaral mo, ganun po.
So it is something to do with informal designation. Ganyan, napilitan or is it a matter of
Opo.
calling because nakikita mo nahihirapan na yung group nyo eh. Kasi walang may times na ganyan, 'di ba? Yung when we were in college, no, yung na-assign na leader, may times na is not the type of leader na very helpful to his team members wherein it tends to delegate lang. Oh, itong gagawin mo, itong part mo, part mo. Not unlike there are actually leaders kasi ako I was also I was also a part of a group no wherein I am a member and then my leader is not the type of leader who lifts you up or kumbaga tinutulungan ka no ito o ano kamusta na kayo ganyan how's the progress of your work or how's your how is going to be your participation. Okay? Yes, Shane?
Sir, ano po, agree po ako doon sa sinabi ni Emmanuel na yung doon po sa leader na yung iba po hindi naman po kahit tas pinipili nila po na kung sino po talaga yung active, ganun po. Tapos, kasi sir, na-experience ko na po yan, sir, ngayong SEM na kahit hindi ako yung leader, kung kaya ko naman po yung yung gawain, ginagampanan ko po siya para matulungan ko din po yung leader namin. Yan lang po at maraming salamat.
Salamat. All right. Okay. Anyone from the group? Anyone from the group? Yes.
At saka, sir, yung sinabi niyo po na, di ba po, may leader kayo pero wala siyang pake kasi siguro nga dahil napilitan lang siya. Meron din naman po na kahit napilitan lang sila maging leader, like me po, talagang kailangan gampanan din yung pagiging leader. Kailangan mo rin i-assist yung mga group mo. Dapat concerned ka rin sa kanila. Kasi nakakahiya naman po na ang laki ng taas ng tingin nila sa'yo na ikaw nga yung pinili nila tapos sila hahayaan mo lang. Siyempre, para hindi naman sila ma-disappoint, gagampanan mo rin yung part mo at saka para rin po sa teacher. Ganun po.
Is it necessary na dapat laging may leader like in the video has been shown and then your justification in your explanation na we should always have a leader so that there is one person who's leading the team which is actually that is his role no as a leader and at the same time to motivate. What if let us consider that everybody of the members no has the guts and the courage no or initiative no wherein to assume the role of being a leader. So kailangan pa ba natin ng leader? What if like that? For example, I have a strong components members, Rod. So like say for instance, we're talking about President Duterte, Putin, President Putin, the Prime Minister of the Japan. No, those leaders have great qualities. No, ah, is it necessary that there's somebody or someone will lead them? Despite the in spite the fact that most of their traits and qualities no are parts of what being a leader is or what a leader should be. What if ganon, Fisco?
Sir, para po sa akin kailangan po pa rin ng leader kasi based on sa sinabi niyo po sir, lahat sila may traits and qualities of being a leader. Minsan yun po yung nagiging conflict sa misunderstanding. May pwede pong mangyari na parang dahil nga alam nila lahat ang ginagawa nila, magkakaroon po ng misunderstanding and disagreement between sa loob ng team po. Kaya po kailangan meron po talagang isa na naglilid po sa
Moderator.
kanyang members. Opo.
All right, thank you so much. So, everybody or anyone can assume leadership role, no? But the next question would be is, are they going to lead effectively? Ayun yung pinaka-next question. Kaya it is very important. All the things that they have mentioned are correct. No? Everybody can assume a leadership role. Na lalo na if you have the initiative, no? Kasi it is actually our responsibility. Lalo na kapag you have the initiative. Lalo na pag ganon. 'Di ba? You know to yourself that you have a lot pag sa school, you have a lot of things that need to be submitted no on time. And then yung designated na leader wala namang ginagawang kumbaga walang pakialam or apathetic. He has the apathetic attitude wherein wala siyang pake. The moment that he have designated or should I say given the part of yours, no? That's it. Tatapusin na lang hanggang at the end of the deadline of the submission. No, so anyone can assume a leadership role. However, the next question would be: are they going to lead you effectively and efficiently? That will be the next question. Thank you so much. Proceed.
So next po ang i-discuss ng other groupmates ko ay ang mga theories about leadership. Miss Gamba.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Do not be intimidated ha. Nag-ano lang ako ng question ha. Para medyo madagdagan yung ano natin, conversation natin. Kasi puro theories tayo eh. Okay? Huwag kayo ma-intimidate. There's no right or wrong answer. Okay? Thank you. Proceed.
Good morning, everyone. Our next topic is leadership theories. First is trait theory, second, behavioral theory, third, and contingency theory. First, trait theory. What characteristic or trait makes a person or a leader? For me, if you want to become a leader, you may start by understanding your leadership style because you know what are your strengths and which areas need some improvement. And then you will serve as a role model in your members. And be passionate because great leaders are not just focused on getting groups members to finish their tasks. Then listen and communicate effectively and also have a positive attitude. And next is theory that considers personal, social, physical, or intellectual traits to differentiate leaders from non-leaders. To differentiate leaders from non-leaders of traits, ineffective leaders have a common pattern of personal characteristics that support their ability to mobilize others towards outside vision. These traits include dimension of personality and motives, set of skills and capabilities and behaviors in social relationship. And the assumption of traits are leaders are born because Born leaders are people with an innate capacity to effectively manage and lead groups of people to achieve collective goals. And next is goal. Select a leader. Because leader is someone who can lead and see how things can be improved and move toward making their vision a reality while putting first. And the example of trait theory is extraversion, conscientiousness, openness, and emotional intelligence. And the limitation of trait is no universal traits found that predict leadership in all situations, and traits predict behavior better in weak than strong situations, and clear evidence of the cause and effect relationship of leader and traits. Next slide, please. Second is behavioral theory. Behavioral leadership theory argues that the success of a leader is based on their behavior rather than natural attribute. Behavioral leadership theory involves observing and evaluating a leader's action and behaviors when they are responding to a specific situation. And then this theory believes that leaders are made, not born, because this theory suggests that anyone can become an effective leader if they can learn and implement certain behaviors. And this is the type of behavior leadership. People-oriented leaders. People-oriented leaders focus on behavior that allow them to meet the needs of the people they interact with, including supervisor, employees, and clients. They are primarily driven by interpersonal connection and communication. And second is task-oriented leaders. Task-oriented leaders are primarily focused on setting goals and achieving objectives, and also thrive in a well-structured environment, and often show authoritative behavior. Then they are more focused on their team's final results rather than the day-to-day development process. And the third is participative leaders. Participative leaders make an effort to include their entire team in decision-making process. They prioritize active communication, collaboration, and feedback. Participative leaders know their team strengths and weaknesses and assign tasks accordingly. And next is status quo leaders. Status quo leaders prioritize both productivity and employee satisfaction, and they ensure that all tasks are finished on time while also providing support and encouragement to their team members. And the last is indifferent leaders. Indifferent leaders do not prioritize interaction or communication with their team. They are primarily focused on personal success and advancement. Due to the lack of cooperation, and indifferent leadership style is widely considered the most ineffective of the behavioral leadership style. And that's all my report.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, classmate. So the next theory is the contingency theory. The contingency theory was proposed by Austrian psychologist Fred Edward Fiedler. This theory emphasized that the behavior of leader depends upon the characteristic of situation the leader is in. Also, according to this theory, no leadership style is best in all situations. So in other words, the contingency theory ay nagpo-focus po siya sa kung paano yung isang specific na sitwasyon ay nakakaapekto sa pagiging epektibo ng isang leader. In order to lead the team well, kailangan yung leadership ng isang leader ay match sa kanyang sitwasyon na kinakaharap. For example, so ito, meron isang project manager. So itong project manager na ito, para sa kanya, mas madali yung pakikipag-communicate through writing instead of personal communication. So ang ginawa niya, ine-encourage niya yung team niya sa pamamagitan ng pag-send ng emails sa kanila every week. However, meron silang bagong employee na hindi sanay or hindi willing i-accept yung method of communication niya. So in order for that project manager to connect with this new employee, kailangan niya mag-effort na i-motivate na lang itong employee na to in person or pwede niyang baguhin yung method of communication niya or pwede niya na lang i-assign itong task sa kanyang assistant. Regardless kung ano yung magiging approach niya sa sitwasyon na yon, he is still a good leader who is facing an unexpected situation or challenge. Kung tinanggap niya na he need to adapt to the new situation instead of na ipilit niya yung usual niyang methods, he can still be a highly productive leader who encourage his team effectively. So, yung contingency theory, it examines how the leader will give his best to run his or her team or an organization given a different situation. In order to understand more about the contingency theory, we will need to understand the following approaches or theory under this contingency in isolating situational behavior. Next slide po.
Exactly. Precisely. Good explanation.
So the Fiedler model theory. The Fiedler model contingency proposes that effective group performance depends on the proper match between the leader's style and the degree to which the situation gives the leader control. So dito sa Fiedler theory, the leader's style is already fixed. Meaning, hindi na po nila pwedeng baguhin yung leadership style nila para ibagay dun sa situation nila. When we are referring to the leadership style, it means the way how the leader behave towards their followers. For example, sinisigawan ba nila or sinisisi ba nila yung ibang tao kung may maling nangyayari or tinatama ba nila yung pagkakamali ng iba sa pamamagitan ng pakikinig or yung paggabay sa tama sa kanila. In Fiedler theory, hindi na mababago yung style ng leadership para bumagay sa sitwasyon ng kinakarap ng isang leader. Instead, kailangan nilang ilagay na lang yung isang leader sa isang sitwasyon na nagmamatch dun sa style nila. So there are three situational factors in Fiedler's theory. The leader-member relation, second, task structure, third, position power. Next slide po. So in using the Fiedler's model, there are three steps that need to be followed. First, identifying the leadership style. Fiedler believes a key factor in leadership style is the individual's basic style. He created the least preferred coworker or LPC questionnaire para ma-identify niya yung style na by measuring whether a person or is task-oriented or relationship-oriented. Dito sa questionnaire na ito ay nire-rate nyo ng mga employee yung mga coworkers nila on a scale of 1 to 8 para malaman if yung employee na nag-rate na yon is task or relationship-oriented nga. Second, defining the situation. After identifying the leadership style, they match the leader with the situation. So there are three situational factors na ginagamit nila. First, leader-member relation. Itong first factor na to ay minimeasure kung gaano ka pinagkakatiwalaan, gaano ka nire-respeto, gaano kataas yung confidence ng isang team sa leader nila. Second, task structure. Ito naman, minimeasure yung mga tasks that need to be performed well. Third, position power. This is determined by the authority, meaning ito yung power ng isang leader in hiring, firing, rewarding, discipline, and pag-increase ng salary. The third step is the matching leaders in situation, wherein they change the leader to fit the situation or they change the situation to fit the leader. Next slide po. So the next contingency theory, situational theory. It focuses on the followers. Followers can either I can accept or reject the leader, and effectiveness depends on the followers' response to the leader's action. Wherein a leader should choose one of the four behaviors depending on the following readiness of the followers. As you can see in the picture po, ito po. So if yung followers is unable and unwilling sa paggawa ng task, yung leader kailangan magbigay ng direct or magbigay ng clear at mas specific na direction. Pag sila naman ay unable and willing, the leader needs to display high task and relationship orientation. Next, if the followers are able and unwilling, kailangan gumamit yung leader ng supportive at participative style. And last, if they are both able and willing, hindi na siya gagawa masyado ng kahit ano, monitoring na lang. Next slide po. The next theory is the path goal theory. It was developed by Robert House. This theory says that the leader's job is to provide with information, to provide followers with information, support, and resources para ma-achieve yung goal nila. The leaders can help clarify the path to the worker's goal and they can display a multiple leadership style. Dito sa path goal theory, sinasabi na ang effective na leader ay ginagabayan, tinutulungan, or sinusuportahan yung mga followers nila sa pag-achieve ng goals at ginagawang mas madali yung pag-abot ng goals by pagbawas ng mga sagabal or yung mga problema. So the path goal theory also outlined four behavior style. Next slide po. This leadership behavior, first directive, second participative, third achievement oriented, and fourth supportive. So the lead in as a leader of in directive, they provide structures to employee. Tapos sa achievement oriented, they wait lang sir. Kalimutan ko. Sa sa supportive, they display concern and welfare to employees. Third, participative, employee involving employees is in decision making. And lastly, the achievement oriented. They were in the leaders establishing challenging goals and communicating high performance expectation. So in this leader behavior, there is a question that needs to be answered. Which leadership style is more appropriate? So para malaman yung kung ano yung appropriate na leadership style, ang unang-unang kailangan i-consider is the subordinates factors. So the first one is the perceived ability of employee. Second, locus of control, and third, the experiences of the subordinates. And pag in order for the leader to be effective, the leader should avoid duplicating factors already present in the employee's environment. Ito yung task structures. Kailangan yung task na gagawin nila ay na clearly specified. Second, formal authority system. Kailangan yung mga rules, policies, and procedures ay clearly rin dun sa sitwasyon. Ayun. Tapos next, primary work group. Kailangan may support na nakukuha yung employee dun sa leader. Tapos pag nagawa yung lahat, eh di yung outcome, yung performance, magagawa ng tama and job satisfaction. Next po. So the final contingency theory is the leader participation model. This model was developed by Victor Broom and Philip Yatan and related to the leadership behaviors and participation in decision making, wherein they provide a set of rules para ma-determine yung form and amount of participative decision making in sa iba't ibang sitwasyon. It also argues that how a leader makes decision is as important as what is decided, and leaders' behavior must adjust to reflect the task structure. Next po. Yung last contingency theory po, itong leader member exchange or LMX theory, wherein leaders establish a special relationship with small group of followers. The leader explicitly categorize the followers as an in or an out, and the relationship is relatively stable over time. Yung out group po, these are the members, yung mga nagpe-perform ng job nila base dun sa job description nila. Hindi na sila gumagawa ng extra work. Kung ano lang yung trabaho nila, yun na yun. Tapos, sila rin yung less compatible dun sa leader. Pati may limited interaction dun sa leader. On the other hand po, yung the in-group members, pwedeng kahit hindi sakop ng job description nila or details, ginagawa pa rin po nila yung trabaho. Sila yung kadalasang subordinates na may high performance ratings, greater job satisfaction, pati less turnover. Yun lang po. Thank you.
So, good morning guys. Good morning, sir. My topic is the types of leadership. Next slide. Um, I will just give you some info about leader and leadership. So first, what is a leader? So next slide is my quotes. No. Yeah. A leader is the one who knows the way, goes the way, and show the way by John C. Maxwell. Next slide, please. So leader is someone who can see how things can be improved and who rallies people to move toward that better vision. Someone who does more than just lead people. Need to be empathetic and connect with people to be successful. So ang leader, siya yung nagbibigay ng motivation sa mga employees nila para ma-achieve yung objectives ng isang organization and matulungan din yung employees nila na ma-reach yung satisfaction na pwedeng mag-result na tumaas yung level of productivity nila. So, next slide. So, the differentiate of this, the leader can work toward making their vision a reality while putting people first. Sa leadership naman is brings together the skills needed to do things. It means na ang leader yung tao na nagdi-decide, nag-organize, and syempre nagdi-lead sa mga workmates niya. While yung leadership is yung action or skills na ginagawa ng isang leader. So next slide po is ito na yung types of leadership. So first is the democratic leadership. Democratic leadership is a leader makes decision based on the input of each team member. So it means na it allows the lower level employees to exercise authority they'll need to use wisely in future position they might hold. It also resembles how decisions can be made in company board meetings. So next is the autocratic leadership. Autocratic leadership is a leader makes decision without taking input from anyone who reports to them. Ito is inverse of democratic leadership. So next is the laissez-faire. Sa laissez-faire leadership naman is the leaders make few decisions and allow their staff to choose appropriate workplace solutions. So ito naman is direct opposite ng autocratic leadership. So it's the next is the strategic leadership. Is the color of the blood, and because of it has historical been associated with the sacrifice and danger. So strategic leadership can be also defined as utilizing strategy in the management of employees. It is a potential to influence organizational members and to execute organizational changes. So next is the effectivity ng types of leadership. So first is
One
the
second,
democratic.
Gonzalo, hold on lang. Bakit ako dun sa taas? Yung sa may autocratic democratic laissez-faire. Um, with regards to the laissez-faire, what do you suggest? Kasi ang based on the definition of laissez-faire is ganito yan eh. Hahayaan mo yung team mo to what they call this, to become responsible. So we are talking about here giving an autonomy no to the members no that you are leading. No, wherein that you are just going to monitor them minimally. So is it that very risky on your part as a leader? Kasi if you are going to apply a minimal supervision or leading this team, no, specifically kapag you have a project, or should I say a specific work, no, that needs a lot of attention and an effort, no, to do it, no, is it that very risky? Kasi it's a matter of giving so much trust and confidence, no, kapag we are going to apply this latest fair. What do you think? What do you suggest in your own opinion or based on your research, no? Kasi this is not something, this is not the same with democratic eh. When we say democratic leadership style, no, you are getting all the hindsight, foresight, no, everything that your members, no, wants them to told you about, no, kasi it is a participation eh. So it is both a collaborative effort, and then it's a matter of criticism, no, wherein it is a creative criticism. Okay? So what do you suggest? Kasi this laissez-faire style, no, kapag once na in-apply mo siya, one thing for sure, it's going to be risky. What do you think? Is it not?
Sir, para sa as a leader, sir, siguro I have trust sa kanila na kaya nila, sir, kasi na-train naman na sila, sir.
Mhm.
Kaya
what
ayun,
if
sir, trust.
what if you're leading the management itself, no, challenge you, and then you have been provided with a members who are novice, bago lang lahat. What if is one thing for sure, kapag once na nagalingan sa iyo ang isang, kasi ganito yan eh, it doesn't mean na kapag once na magaling kang manager, no, or you're good in leading the team, no, it doesn't always na ibibigay ka dun sa, for example, sa specific kunyari pag ang company niyo may different subsidiaries eh, okay, one of your role, no, for you to be able to test how great you are as a manager, no, hindi porket yung magandang company na maganda ang performance doon kanya ilalagay, hindi. Kaya ka nga binayaran ng malaki is one thing for sure, you want to help the company to uplift a specific subsidiary na tumaas ang sale. O what if ganon? Napunta ka sa isang subsidiary na wherein bago ka doon, no, kasi nga na-test yung kagalingan mo eh. Bago ka doon, tapos you know, you have already the qualities and traits and you have all the experience, but the problem is, no, your team members, no, are all novice. Okay? So it is your responsibility. Okay, what do you suggest? Pag gano'n na nangyari sa'yo, kasi ma-experience nyo yan. Pagka-graduate ninyo, kapag naghawak kayo ng posisyon. Okay, hindi pwedeng maganda kung napunta kayo sa company na elevated pang sales, one to person, mga 1 year or 5 years pa lang nagra-run ang business. But what if pag tumagal na, meron talagang intermittent, up and down sales, no, or up and down quotas. Ganun yon. You have the responsibility as a manager to grow the sales, to achieve growth versus the last year. And we're talking about the year to date. Ganyan. What if ganyan? Anyone from the group, no? That is just an for the sake of educational purposes, no? What if ganun siya? Hindi, what do you suggest? In your own opinion, there's no right or wrong answer based on your research. Walang tama o mali. Oh, what if ganun siya? Kasi sabi dito, leaders make few decisions and allow their staff to choose appropriate workplace and solutions. No, it's very risky. Okay? You have the pressure from the top management. No, one thing for sure, anong gagawin mo? Fortunato, okay? How about Fortunato?
Sir, para sa akin, sir, that situation is very risky, sir. But if we have the skills and the ability to fulfill that kind of situation, we can, even our team member is not enough to fulfill their job, we need to, we are the leader that should teach them how to do the job in a proper way.
All right, okay. Gonzalo. Thank
So
you,
yun nga,
Gutierrez.
'di ba? Kung risky, 'di ba, kung risky daw yung license per, risky siya pero as a leader nga, 'di ba, sabi ni Fisco sir, Fisco, take risker ang mga leader. So motivate, guide na lang yung mga employees, sir.
Okay, it is natural. No? Hindi ka mahuhon to become a better leader, no? Kapag hindi ka maging risky kasi lahat ng bagay pati ikaw kahit sa personal life mo no? There are risk. No, we are not risk proof, no? The only thing that we could do, no, we need to endure it, we need to face it. Kaya nga may vision ka no matter what the hard work is. Sige, pasok natin yung in-apply dati ni what they call this, ni Castante about God, no? God doesn't promise us a smooth road, no, to take, no, pavement. Binigyan niya tayo pinangakuan niya tayo ng magandang buhay, pero hindi sa madaling paraan. 'Di ba? It same like that. Okay, medyo biblical na din ako dito ngayon, no? So same like that. 'Di ba? Kung hindi ka, wag ka na maging isang leader or you don't have what they call this, if you don't have the guts, no, wala kang lakas ng loob to take a risk, no, you are not going to grow. Okay? Kaya nga it's a matter of process, no? It is part of the process. Okay, same with the diamond, 'di ba? From a black metal and then pinakiskis sa pinakamainit at pinakamatatalas, no, hanggang sa makaproduce ng ganong kagandang gem. So, it is part of the process. Okay? Thank you. Okay, proceed.
So first is the democratic leadership. Bakit siya commonly effective? Kasi mas gusto ng mga tao o yung mga worker na napapakinggan din yung suggestion nila, hindi lang yung leader nagde-decide. Feeling nila belong sila at hindi trabahador lang. So sa autocratic leadership naman is rarely effective. Because dito is yung leader lang yung gumagawa ng decision nang hindi na pinapaalam or hindi niya sinasabihan yung mga grupo niya or workers niya. So sa license per nga, yun nga, sometimes effective. This is empleyado, kumbaga worker ang bahala, kumbaga leader ang hindi magdedesisyon or some make few decisions lang. In short, let them do. So sa strategic leadership naman is from the word strategy, the focal point or organizational learning is they promote the culture of inquiry and they search for the lesson in both successful and unsuccessful outcomes. They study the failures, their own and their teams in an open, constructive way to find the hidden lessons. It means na gumagawa sila ng way or paraan para maging successful yung plano at kung ano pa. At inaalam nila yung tama at mali para mahanap yung way para maging successful. So next slide is the leadership is an action, not a position by Donald McGannon. So dito is the difference is that leaders embody leadership mindsets and actions. It's who you are as a person that makes you a leader. Doing leadership actions or holding a leadership position does not make you a leader. Ito is yung di lahat ng manager kaya maging leader. Bakit? Kasi para sa akin, um, nasa tao ang pagiging leader. Pwede kang maging manager kung mapapasa mo lahat ng qualification, pero paano kung manager ka nga lang kung di mo naman kaya maging leader? Kung di mo kaya mag-lead ng tao. And that's all. Thank you.
Much. Thank you. All right. Let us continue on the next kasi 10:28 na. Okay, no problem. Sorry Gutierrez, is that okay with you? Para at least we could elaborate it further dun sa pinaka-topic ninyo. So hindi siya masyadong kaya ng ano no, ng ganung oras. I just want to add on to the LMX no before we end up no. Who's that again, Gamba? All group 1 has provided us a very informative and concise what they call this reporting, no? Ang ganda. It's a mix of what they call this pedagogical, no? Meron pa video, maganda yung pinaka points nila, no? Each of the do alam ko may kanya-kanyang difference nakita mo na may kanya-kanyang contribution kasi iba-iba kung paano nila what they call this how they present each of their topics, no? In terms of the LMX Gamba, do you think na maiiwasan ng isang manager or leader na magkaroon ng favorite? Maiiwasan ba niya 'yan? Because of the LMX, right? Diba, it should be homogeneous wherein he is looking at his members, no? What they call this, na pantay-pantay, no? May chance ba na ganyan all the time, all throughout na magsasama kayo kahit 10 years, 20 years na wala kang magiging favorite? Or you are going to have a different approach, no? If ever that you are a warehouse manager, no? Your approach to the warehouse number 1 and warehouse number 2 will be the same. What if we have different qualities? As we all know that warehouse number 1s have different qualities on how are they going to motivate, and then number 2 also. Okay, what about that? That will be the last hanging question. Hindi lang ako nakasingit kanina eh. Gamba, what do you think? Anyone from the other what do you think? Yun lang. There's no right or wrong answer. Yes, go ahead, Gamba. Maiiwasan ba natin yung favoritism?
Sa tingin ko, sir, hindi naman may iwasan, pero kailangan yung approach o yung trato natin sa kanila pantay-pantay pa rin. Hindi mo papaboran tong isang na to kasi favorite mo siya.
In a way na, paano ba natin malalaman na hindi ka pumapabor na wherein meron ng antag dito? Meron na siyang, alam mo na, that is actually already questionable. Hindi natin talaga maiiwasan na we are going to have favorites. No? Kahit sa pamilya natin, malalaman natin, mararamdaman natin kung sino ang favorite ni nanay at tatay eh. Okay? Sabi nga 'di ba doon sa My Four Sisters in the Wedding, bakit lagi si Teddy na lang, Ate Teddy ang mauuna, 'di ba?
Yes.
Ano, sir, siguro kunwari kung hindi mo to favorite or hindi ka masyadong doon sa yun. Pero parang tutulungan mo na lang siya or tutulungan mo siya mag-improve ganun.
Okay, Shane, yes. Yes, Shane. Okay.
Para po sa akin, sir, hindi na po may iwasan yung pagiging favoritism sa isang workplace. Bakit nga po ba? Sir, kunyari po, nagustuhan mo na yung nagustuhan mo yung performance nung nung empleyado mo, tapos naging nakapansin ng mga ibang empleyado na favorite mo siya. Pero yung favorite mong tao na yun, hindi mo alam na sinisiraan ka pa rin niya patalikod.
May iba, grapevine. Okay, thank you so much. Well, anyways, as long as you are not going to bend rules, it's okay to have your favorites. Kasi ang brain natin is biased, no? As long as it is going to see and witness what is pleasant, 'di ba? You have your visions eh. And then at the same time, you have your parameters, no? Alam mo 'yan. Kaya nga ikaw yung tipo ng tao that if you, for example, if you are into superficial, no, you tend to like a person who is very handsome, sexy, macho. Ayan ang pamantayan natin eh. All right? But anyways, as long as in the workplace, as long as you are not going to bend rules, no, just to make a favor to your favorite, no, you're still considered as a good leader. Hindi yun makakabawas sa'yo. Tatandaan mo yan. Do not bend rules, no? Just for one person. All right? But you could bend rules, no? A little bending of rules without kumbaga tatapakan ang karapatan ng isang tao, or you are going to damage the reputations of the company, no? You tend to bend rules. May times ako nagaganon din ako, as long as you know that it is going to be to have an outcome for greater good of everybody. All right? Kasi we have this so-called reform eh. Okay? You as a manager and as a leader, no, you have the responsibility to become an agent of change. Okay? Hindi naman perpekto ang isang kumpanya eh, no? They need to have a voice, no, to express it out, no? What change should happen. Okay, hindi man agad-agad, but the important is you have already started it, you have the courage, no, to do it, and then at the same time to make participation, no, to the persons involved it, or the management, top management behind it, no, to create a change, kasi that is one thing for sure, you are thinking for the better of everybody else. Yes, Shane? Yes, Shane, napindot lang ba?
Sir, another example para sa akin ng sir ha.
Oh yes, no problem.
Yung dun po sa mga ibang company ay parang may pag-favorite po sila. Like for example po, yung mga ibang LGBTQIA community, hindi po sila na-accept sa mga trabaho. Pero alam naman po namin na we LGBT community deserve the light that God given to us.
All right. Okay. There are companies who are actually accepting or should I say embracing diversities. No, meron talagang meron pa nga specifically BPO companies, no, they have allotted a specific what they call this comfort room, no, that is intended for transgender. Okay, hindi nyo ba alam yung ganyan? So far, thank you so much. Group 1, a leadership group, no, has done a very good job, but we're going to wait for Gutierrez. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Sorry for the extension. Okay, so next group conflict, no, be ready. Next tayo doon after Fortunato. Okay, thank you, but do not kill the what they call this, the